want your Spidey, you want your Batman too. On every Wednesday, that comics are new.
Welcome to Week and Geek, your new comic preview for June 8th. I'm Mike Ortiz.
I'm the Chris Brown.
So you know how this goes. What do you got?
My first pick here, we're going to lump the Flashpoints in again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking the Flashpoint stuff so far,
Yeah.
and the first book that really gets my attention.
None of it matters.
It all matters. I'm reading it right now. Someone once said to me about fake boobs, if you can touch them, they're real. And I feel the same thing about Flashpoint here. I can touch it, it's real.
Frankenstein's got some nice fake boobs.
You better believe it, baby. I'm excited about this Frankenstein because I like any incarnation of Frankenstein. I like the Frankenstein's monster. I really like it a lot. I liked what Marvel did. Now we're doing a DC Frankenstein. All right. Looks like a Hulk with stitches, but that's all right.
This looks like the that Frankenstein from Seven Soldiers.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, the Grant Morrison one.
Yeah, I didn't really read any of that. But Frankenstein here. I'm excited about it. Emperor Aquaman. I don't know. Aquaman is a sea Nazi. That sounds
He does have the blonde
crazy.
hair.
Yeah, totally. Then Citizen Cold. I like the Rogues. I like Captain Cold.
Scott Collins.
I want to read Citizen. Yeah,
He's
there you
got
go.
some experience with the Flash, I'd say.
Yeah, that he does. So that should be fun. I'm looking. Oh, we got a little Mr. Freeze in there. So I think that'll be kind of fun. I have been liking the Flashpoint, regardless of it's not going to matter. Oh, it matters.
Matters to me.
Then we're going to flip over to Marvel here. Journey into Mystery. It's a piece of Fear itself. Man, I like this Journey into Mystery book. I think it's been fun. I like young Loki. I think, Marvel did kind of its own little swerve, and they fixed their little, they painted themselves in a corner with some of the Thor stuff. They're in Broxton, and, Loki's causing all kinds of mischief. And then, okay, let's make him a kid, and then kind of start over. And I wouldn't call it a relaunch. But the comic companies are constantly doing things to try and keep things fresh, and I think this is a nice, fresh idea. Fear Itself Spider-Man. It's tying the Fear Itself story in with Spidey, and it's written by my current favorite writer. Yeah, is there a way to express sarcasm? We're just going to move on. Fear Itself Spider-Man. Looking forward to that. Black Panther, Man Without Fear. I've still been liking it. We Craven in here. I like that. So that should be fun. I have been liking this story, but I don't... Still, and I probably say this every week that we cover this, I just don't feel like this is the T'Challa I know. But I do like the book, and I enjoy reading it. It's slipping a little in sales. People don't seem to be loving it as much, but I think they want the Black Panther that they want. We've been talking about this, for the last week. People want the characters they want, oftentimes, regardless of whether or not the storytelling is good. And Black Panther's good. I don't know. Those of you who maybe aren't huge Black Panther fans, pick up that book because you won't be offended that it's not the T'Challa you're used to, because you're not used to anything, and it's good storytelling. Then we've got New Avengers. We've been dragging out the possible death of Mockingbird here for like 4 issues.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on.
Recently returned from the dead, or a couple years ago returned from the dead.
Yeah, Clint Barton in the last issue of Avengers is flirting with Spider-Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, hello?
She's got those pheromones.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, she can make everybody love her.
All right, touche.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The tight red costume doesn't hurt.
It certainly does not. Next up, Morning Glories. I really enjoy this book. I never know what the hell's going on. Doesn't matter. I still like it. Each issue, just advances the mystery more than... originally when the book was coming out, they were comparing it to Lost. I think the comparison to Lost would be, what the hell's going on? I don't know, but I'll keep reading. Who are the mystery men? I don't know. I imagine I'll find out. I like the idea of kind of the Golden Age heroes. I always like the mystery men, the guys who put on fedora hats and masks and suits and trench coats and went out and fought the good 1930s fight.
Yeah, these are 1930s heroes, so these actually are pre-World War II, which is an area that I don't recall Marvel exploring much, if at all.
No, and just recently they've kind of started to go, because what was that, the Marvel's Project? They kind of tried to weave in some of that, the Mystery Men, Golden Age characters kind of stuff.
So yeah, if you like Marvel's Project, or the Invaders, or the Justice Society.
And it's written by David Liss, who is doing that Black Panther, Man Without Fear. He's a good writer. I mean, he's a good, strong storyteller, so check that out. Green Wake, again, I think this is an interesting kind of book. I love Riley Rosmo's art. He's the guy that was doing Proof. This is this weird murder mystery in this weird sort of otherworldly kind of place. Almost like so many of these stories that, people fall between the cracks or forgotten or they forget themselves, or that's kind of what it is, but it has the noirist detective.
Still have the frogs?
There were some brief frogs in the second one. I don't know if we're still dealing with frogs because that was kind of the method of travel.
Frog up at the top here.
Is that? Then we're still dealing with frogs.
So if you like frogs, which are usually green.
Yes. Go green. Go white. American Vampire, doing a miniseries. I don't understand why we need a miniseries dropped in the middle. It's still written by Scott Snyder and drawn by Sean Murphy, who I like a lot. He did Joe the Barbarian. He did that Hellblazer story. So, yeah, his artwork, I think, is very, very strong. Again, the series is going on. Why couldn't this have just been in the series? Oh, well, I'm still going to read it.
Thought Scott Snyder said that this is happening concurrently.
Oh, is that what it is?
Because there's a World War II story going on in the regular book. This is actually same time.
So you need to have them.
So they're parallel stories.
Okay.
Kind of. At least that's what I thought he said.
I can dig that.
It doesn't matter.
Really
it's
like the
stuff with good
artwork.
art.
Yeah, really, really strong stuff. So that is my initial stack. What do you got there?
Well, first up, I've got Terry Moore's Echo. This is the last issue of what has been a great series. I've really enjoyed it. It's a science fiction series. I never picked up Strangers in Paradise,
which was a great series.
But because this was sci-fi, something a little bit different, I'll give it a shot. I also wanted to start with this because I wanted to bring to your attention the graphic. When you walk into your store, the image that's going to be on the front of the comic is not the image that we have on the graphic. All of our graphics are pulled from the internet before the books actually come out.
Yep.
Covers change, solicits change. That's why if you've noticed in the past that something doesn't quite match up, it's because the internet got it wrong, not us. Except for Ultimate X, which didn't ship last week. That was entirely my fault. Because I read it on a website.
We told you we didn't have the books and something was going to get screwed up.
And the website that I used to get the images had it listed, so I
regardless of the fact that we're not going to get into this. No. The inventory list didn't have it, but that's all right. I dropped the ball producing. It happened.
Yeah. It's not our fault. It's the internet's fault, and that's why
I'm comfortable.
This is the real cover for Echo number 30. Next up is Unwritten. Great book. We've talked about it every issue.
Yep.
Both of us get this book. It's smart. It's literate.
Very much so.
It's the mystery continues to deepen. I'm hoping
they gave us some answers though. Like a few issues ago, we started to get a little
they give
pointed
you
in the right direction.
And but it's a smart book. If you like reading those books that don't have pictures, you might like this one. Just saying.
It has pictures.
Ultimate Spider-Man 159.
Getting close.
Getting close. They shot him, but he wasn't dead. I don't think he's dead here either.
He won't be officially dead until he's wrapped in plastic.
Yes. So
black plastic, to be exact.
So yeah, they're going to do their own reboot, restart, whatever. Is it a new number? Yeah, new number 1.
Yeah, I believe so.
But pretty much, I just have to say, this would be about the worst possible place to start picking this book up. So if you're already reading it, you don't need to tell me. If you're not, you're telling me to shut up and move on. Next up is Moriarty number 2.
How'd you like that first one?
I really got a kick out of the first one.
Okay.
It's well written. It's a very densely written book. First time I tried to read it, I tried to read it with the TV on and stuff going on. Couldn't get through it. I waited, actually read it where I could focus on the words and what's going on. A lot of it's told in the words. There's kind of an internal monologue, and it was really good. It's basically, with Sherlock Holmes out of the picture, Moriarty is basically the world's best detective, and there's a mystery he has to solve.
I like it.
Interesting. Next up, the countdown to the end of Incredible Hulks continues. This time it's Paul Pelletier back on artwork, so I don't care about anything else. He's a great artist. I'll read it, and the whole time just be happy to know that unless I kick off sometime in the next couple of months, that I beat the Hulk. That's all I care about. Next up, Booster Gold. This is the Flashpoint tie-in. It's the only Flashpoint tie-in that's going into the regular books. Because Booster is also aware of the changes to the timeline.
Okay.
Because he's the time traveling guy.
Right.
He was out time traveling when he came back. Who knows? So yeah, he also knows how he's going to play into this. We really don't know
Okay.
He factored into that Vanishing Point series.
Oh yeah.
And that sort of tied into this, and you know, Jeff Johns launched the new Booster Gold book. So I think a lot of seeds have been laid in with Booster Gold as far as this storyline and the resolution and the time traveling. So I guess we'll see. But it's Dan Jurgens writing it, who created the character. Still does a good job on the artwork. So I'm going to give it a shot. Next up is Glamour Puss. This is a weird book. You're probably not reading it. I've mentioned it a few times. If you're a fan of Dave Sim and Cerebus, if you're a fan of classic comic book artwork, give it a shot. It's part comic history, part art lesson, and a whole lot of crazy all mixed up in one nice black and white book. Next up, Batman and Robin. Judd Winnick's been writing this. It's featuring the Red Hood. Last issue was pretty solid. I mean, it's a strange Batman and Sons thing, you know, with his real son, his metaphoric son, the son that died. Dick Grayson is the other son, so it's all kind of crazy. But this has been a solid book even without Grant Morrison writing it, so give it a shot. The Annihilators, again, I've mentioned many times. It's a great sci-fi book. This is the last issue. It's tying into Annihilation and Rom, and it's got Beta Ray Bill and Gladiator and all the big gun cosmic characters. Really good stuff.
Rocket Raccoon back up.
Rocket Raccoon back up. Good stuff, and check it out. So, what's your top?
Is that my top pick? Okay, I'm kind of excited about this Screamland ongoing.
This looks good.
It does. I remember when the miniseries came out, and no one touched it. No one wanted to bother with it. It was one of these weird Image miniseries, but it's essentially the movie monsters striking out looking for work. That just sounds like a neat idea to me, and it has this kind of cartoonish, funny art. And it's the Hollywood monsters. You got a Wolfman and a mummy and a creature from the Black Lagoon. And
don't they wind up in a porno movie?
Oh, is that where this is going? Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm in. All right, sounds good to me. So I think that's going to be kind of fun. I'm really looking forward to that Screamland. And like I said, when I was flipping through the art, I really like it. It almost has like almost a Sergio Aragonese kind of feel at times, like almost like you're looking at old Mad Magazine.
Yeah, it's got an old humor comic look to it. An old,
but it's still got a little dark. Like it looks good. I mean, that literally looks like an old Mad Magazine there. But yeah, it looks like good, fun stuff. I'm excited about it. What do you got there?
My top, there's two of them. It's Green Lantern movie prequel Kilowog and Green Lantern movie prequel Tomar Rhee. The Green Lantern movie is coming out in what, like 2 weeks?
The 17th.
So
9 days.
9 days. So it's coming out soon. DC has not done a huge push with original Green Lantern stuff. They've kept everything in print. They've reprinted it. They've not inundated us like Marvel has with Thor and Iron Man. As far as I know, this is the only. These are just one shots, and they're the only things. I don't know if there's other characters.
And they're going to be backing the characters in the movie universe.
Yep. Yeah. This is basically the movie universe of the character. Giving some of their backstory. I'm really excited about the movie.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm sure this is not essential to your enjoyment of the movie, but it looks like the first one's written by Mark Guggenheim, who was one of the co-writers of the movie, and the other one is written by Peter Tomasi, who has done a fantastic job on Green Lantern Corps. So
yet another thing for Mark Guggenheim to work on that's not Resurrection.
Yeah, you just gotta let that go. Resurrection is dead, and it's not coming back.
It hurts me.
But yeah, if you're excited about Green Lantern, give this a shot. If you're not, then don't.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's my stuff.
Well, and I'd like to point out one other thing. Check out I Love Lightning Bugs online. I'm wearing the T-shirt. What I've told everybody is if you send us T-shirts, we'll wear them on the show. Mm-hmm. Until this baby's really valuable, then you're paying money. So you might as well get in for free while it's good here. Send them to 28059 John R. Road, Madison Heights, Michigan, and we'll plug whatever you got. So from there, that's your Week in Geek.